Okay. So what does Hanukkah say for me? I love Hanukkah for a lot of reasons, but one, it's my birthday on Hanukkah, the third night of Hanukkah.
First night?
The third.
Oh, third night.
Third night of Hanukkah, and it's also the yahrzeit of my father on the same day of my birthday. So yes, so for me it was as if he was telling me, like take my flame, like continue my work, like he was a big Talmid Chacham and he was a dentist, but he was also giving shiur Torah everywhere. So it's his way of saying like, keep on the work. So it's very special for me Hanukkah. Even before I always loved Hanukkah. One of the lessons I feel like we can learn from Hanukkah, I think it's like what Fegi was saying, meaning I feel like Hanukkah gives us a different way of looking at things. I mean, if you look at the Maccabim, right? They are literally a very small group of people going to fight this huge army. If nowadays, like suddenly our sons come and say, Mom, I'm going now, I'm going to go fight Hamas. Okay, what are you going to tell him? You come and you stay here and you don't go anywhere, right? Like there is no way. There was no way it was supposed to happen. So there was no way they were able to win, right? But so how come the miracle happened? The miracle is not just something Hashem does. The miracle, it's a junction between the miracle that the man is going to do on himself and then Hashem's hand. And what is the miracle that the man is going to do on himself? It's the miracle of Emunah. Emunah in himself and Emunah in Hashem. Because also Emunah in himself is a miracle. Because most of the people in this situation would have just said, there is no way I'm going to succeed. And he's right. There is no way he was succeeding, right? But if he says, this is what Hashem wants from me, and if that's what Hashem wants from me, I'm going to believe that Hashem is going to make it happen, and believe that Hashem gives me the koach. And those two emunot, that's what creates the miracle. Because if they would have just said, okay, I can do this, and just stay home, then even if Hashem wanted to do the miracle, but he would not have the kli. So when we have emunah in ourselves and in Hashem, we become the kli for Hashem to do miracles. Because even that, emunah in Hashem and emunah in yourself, it's the miracle. And even I would say it's one thing. Emunah in Hashem and emunah in yourself, it's one thing. Why? What is ourselves? Ourselves is a part of Hashem. So when you have emunah in yourself, you also have emunah in Hashem. Because you have emunah in what Hashem gives you. And anyone who thinks like, I'm not good enough, and why did I make this mistake, that mistake? That's sheker. That's sheker. Who could tell a Jew is not good enough? It's like when people tells me, we have to work on a nava. And when I was in seminary, I would use here, Rabbanim would say, like, you have to know you're a nothing. Who can even tell a Jew is a nothing? I think there is a big confusion today about what gahava and anava is. Anava is not thinking you're a nothing, because if we take the example of who was the Anav Mikol Adam, Moshe Rabbeinu, right? If he thought he was a nothing, then he could have never been able to go and fight against Pharaoh and lead the Jewish people out of Egypt in the desert. So from Moshe we learn Anava is not thinking you're a nothing. What is Anava? Anava is knowing you're special. Anava is knowing you have special kochot. You have a chelek Elokam Yimal Mamash, a piece of HaKadosh Baruch Hu within you. But what it is, everything that you are, it comes from Hashem. And when you know that, then that's anava. And gava is the opposite. Generally, gava are people who feel very bad about themselves, and they feel the need to show that they are better in order to make themselves feel like they have some value. And that's gava. Gava is like thinking, I'm the best, I'm better than anyone else, and everything I do is from me. So that's the real difference between gava and anava. Anava is not someone who's going to go and say, like, I'm a nothing. Not at all. Anava is someone who's going to go and do things and feel happy and good about himself, and you know that everything he has, it comes from Hashem. That's a real anava. So that was one of the messages that I love about Chanukah. And the last also message that I love about Chanukah is, there was one little like shemen, right? Mm-hmm. And from this one little shemen, it lasted 8 days. And I feel like sometimes also in our life, we look at this one little shemen, like we look at ourselves, we're like, oh, come on, I'm not good enough. When I'll be skinny, when I'll be smarter, when I'll be this, that, then I'll be able to really like shine my light. But the one little shemen comes and say, you are enough. The same way this little light didn't say, but it's not good enough. It's going to light one day, it's going to turn off. They said, that's what I have. That's who I am. That's who I am. I'm going to light it, and it's enough the way it is. The same way that's what the light tells us. You are enough the way you are. You are beautiful and amazing the way you are, and shine your light, because that's what Hashem wants. So I feel like that's what the messages of Hanukkah tells us. And now, because Miriam wanted to do shir about Hey Tevet and Dida Notzach and the books, so I decided we'll speak about the meaning and the secret of letters. So letters, what letters, what does it tell for you, letters, Hebrew letters? Doesn't mean much?
Well, never thought about it.
You never thought about it, okay.
Well, there's in Kol HaGados Yisrael that there's like Hashem said, who's going to be the first letter, you know, and you know you don't want Kuf because it's broken, and you didn't want the Shin because of Sheker, you know, like each letter had some of them had bad attributes, but and then some of them had the good attributes, but they were all just, you know, trying to figure out between themselves which one, and Aleph was like the Anav one saying, you know, like I'm a line on top and you know, like two Yuds over here, you know, like what do I have to offer that much? And then Hashem chose that letter to, you know, to start the Aleph base, because it's, you know, it's improvised. I remember when the kids were in school, they learned, you know, Aleph is Yud Lamala, Yud Lamata, you know.
It also stands for Emunah.
Right. So each letter has something that we can learn from it, and the Gematria also has each something that
exactly
to make up words.
Beautiful.
So.
Yes, I think that's a beautiful introduction of what we're going to be talking about tonight. What about you, Fegi? Is it Fegi or Fega?
Whatever's good for you.
Ah, so Fegi.
Fega, Fegi, if you can't pronounce that, when they call me and they can't say my name, they call me Chava, and that's my second name.
Oh, okay, so Fegi is good. So what does it tell you, letters, Hebrew letters?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
you
I
have
really-
two Yuds in your name, right? You know, right next to each other.
It's not something I can say I've thought about. I really don't know anything
Okay.
really about letters.
So I'll ask you the questions again at the end. So tonight, so that's actually a shir that my father, Alav Shalom, used to give. And so he made it into a diaporama. How do you say diaporama in English? Like a
Diorama.
Diorama or
Meaning, you
what's
know,
the one that I'm thinking of?
voilà,
Yeah,
presentation.
what's a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm just going to repeat tonight. So the point of all this presentation is to show that the Torah comes from Lashon Hora'ah. Hora'ah is instructions. When Hashem created us, Hashem created the world, Hashem created the whole universe. But, you know, for example, when you buy a washing machine, you don't know how to use it. So it's going to be instructions here. You press on this button because you want to know how to use it. How can we be such complex people but not have instructions? Instructions of how we work, how our family works, how, you know, how the world works. It would not make sense that such a complex world comes without instructions. And Hashem would not have this cruelty of creating everything without instruction. And that's what the Torah is. Torah comes from the Lashon Hora'ah. Hora'ah is instructions. In the Torah there is instructions for everything, for our mind, for our body, for our soul, for our psychology, for our family, for the world, for education, for economy, for everything. Basically, the Torah is instruction for the world. And it makes sense. It's Hashem created us. So He knows even better than ourselves how we function. And that's what Hashem tells us through the Torah. It tells you, my beautiful daughter, I created you. I know how you work. And here's the path. How to explain to you how to reach happiness. Basically, that's the Torah. The Torah is the path how to reach happiness at all the different levels of our life. But in the Torah, there is even more. The Torah, Hashem created the world. And when He created the world, on Simchat Torah, we said that. We said, Le'enei kol Yisrael. Those are the last words of the Torah. Bereshit bara Elokim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. So why do we say that? Because it's a fact. The fact is that when Hashem created the world, He took all the neshamot of all the Jewish people, He put them next to Him. And then also it's written, Istakel b'oraita, Ubara Alma. HaKadosh Baruch Hu looked at the Torah, and from the Torah, He created the world. So in one side there is the Torah, and the other side there is all the souls of all the Jewish people. Le'enei kol Israel, at the eyes of all the Jewish people. Hashem created the world. Why? So that we know, and it's engraved within our subconscious, into our neshama, that Hashem created the world. And how He created the world, not Big Bangs and no monkeys and no Darwinism. Hashem created the world with His speech, with His words, and for who? For us. That's what Hashem did. He said, my dear neshamas, I put you here next to me today so that you'll always remember that I create this world for you. That's why once there is a kid, he goes to his father, he says, Daddy, how did Hashem create man? So his dad says, there was the monkeys, and from the monkeys there is the man. And he goes to his mom, he says, Mommy, how does Hashem created man? He says, Hashem took the dirt, and then, he put the neshama, that's how the man was created. So the kid said, but Daddy said about the monkeys. So he says, he told you about his side of the family. It's like once a bandit came to a guy and says, it's either the money, either your life. So he says, text my wife, she's all my life. It's true love. So that's the story. So the Torah is instructions for our life, but it's also instructions for the whole world, for how the world is going to run, for how the world was run, and how it's going to go. So that's what we're going to see today. How the Torah is really more than what we just think, just the Torah. It's also instruction for the whole world. So the text says, והכלל כי כל מה שהיה, הווה ויהיה, עד עולם, הכל כלול בתורה, מבראשית עד לעיני כל ישראל. The fact is that everything that happened, ever happened in the world, everything that is happening, and everything that is meant to happen in the future, everything is written inside the words of the Torah. Now it says, לא כללים בלבד, not just the generalities, the big wars, the big kings and this like that. No. אפילו פרטיו של כל מין ומין, even all the details of every species, של כל אדם, each person has his life written inside the Torah. של כל פרטיו, כל מה שאירע לו, everything that happened to him, מיום היוולדו עד סופו, from the moment he was born till he is dead, everything is written, he is written in the Torah. You are written in the Torah, you are written in the Torah.
But how do you extract that?
So that's why we're here tonight.
because you find that when various things happen, there are people that go, I did the gematria, and I counted so many words, so many letters, and then I came up with this. So, we know that Adam Harishon named every single animal, right? So, somebody discovers a new animal and decides to name it, but it's already written in the Torah, and all medical advances. It was known from Sheshes Shemay Bereshis, but till it's come until somebody has taken it out, reached into the Torah and taken it out, and then made that discovery.
So it's a very good question. First of all, that's what we're going to see tonight. All the different ways that we have in order to actually see how everything is written in the Torah. Now, in terms of seeing the future and seeing ourselves. So for example, you see, meaning, so my father Rav Sharmi knew how to find psukim and how to see here. That's what's going to happen. I don't know. But what we do know is that it's interesting to see, first of all, how it's all written in the Torah. And we can have some indication about what's going to happen, what's going to be. But it's just already fascinating to realize how through those letters of Torah, we can see that our life is written in there. And that's what's written when Mashiach will come, a new Torah will come, right? That's written. What is this new Torah? That's it. That's our lives. Who's written in the Torah, who's going to Hashem proudly show, here, this is the life of Hindi, this is the life of Miriam. And that's going to come out from the Torah. That's the new Torah is going to come out. And also it shows how much Hashem loves us, because the Torah is like his masterpiece, right? So what you write at the bottom of the masterpiece, you write your name, you write who you're proud of. And the fact that we are written in his Torah shows, I love you, my dear daughter, so much that I write you inside my Torah. And also, That's what show, like when someone is proud of his creation, he writes his name at the bottom. That's why it's written, we are created B'Tselem Elokim, at the image of God. How do we see that we are created at the image of God? Because when you take the name of God, Yud K Vav K, right? You see the human body is created according to this name. Yud is your head. And the Kutso Shel Yud is like the tefillin. Hey is the two arms, right? And you have one little and one big because you always have a stronger arm, the right stronger than the left. Then you have the Vav. I mean, for some people it's Samech, but normally it's supposed to be a Vav. Then it's your stomach and all that. And then the Hey again, the two feet. And again the same idea is that you have one stronger than the other. So you say Yud, K, Vav, K. It's really Hashem like stamped his name within our body. And it's beautiful. You see, not only our soul is special, but also our body is special. So Hashem wrote his name into our body. And Evan, you're getting tired, Indy, I see.
I am, but I'm listening.
Okay. Tell me when we should stop.
It's very interesting.
Evan, in our teeth, it's written. Yud is all the 10 milk teeth. Everyone has 10 milk teeth, so that's Yud. Hey is the 5 teeth that are here. Do you call them the grounding teeth? How do you call them, those 5 teeth? Molars, right. The 5 molars is Hey. Then you have 6 teeth here in the front. It's Vav. Another 5 here in the back. That comes from the Ramak. So Yud, K, Vav, K. So Hashem has written his name even in your teeth. So that shows you everything that you see. It's Hashem thinks you're special, and he writes proudly his name into your soul and into your body, and even in your teeth. So, okay, so now the question, as you said, it's how is it written? So the text says with different techniques. There is something that's called tserufim. When you change the order of the letters, something else shows up. And one of the main techniques we're going to use tonight is what's called milui. So what's a milui? Milui is something that's specific only to the Jewish people, to the Jewish letter. We know that a letter is the same way Hashem is infinite, his letters are infinite. How are they infinite? Let's look at that. Aleph, you can actually spell it the way you hear it. Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, right? We spelled Aleph. That's only from one letter, you have 3 letters. And again, Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, Lamed, Lamed, Mem, Dalet, Pei, Pei, Aleph. So we had here 1 letter, and here we have 8 letters. And again, each letter you can spell it over and over and over and over. So in fact, behind each letter is hiding an infinity of letters. And that's why that's how we learn the power of speech of a Jewish person. How? That's what the Rambam says. The Rambam says, what is Hashem? Tseva, Ot. Tseva is an army, and Ot is a letter. Because it says when a Jewish person is going to say a tefillah, right, he's going to say Mode'ani, each letter that he says is going to open up into an infinity of letters. Those fire letters are going up to Shamayim. There are angels who come and take them and make a crown for HaKadosh Baruch Hu from them. And that's why we say Hashem Tseva Ot, an army of letters who come from our mouth. And that's what we say Kol Kol Yaakov, that each person who says a word of tefillah, that's what protects person to person there in Gaza. That's what brings refuah shelema to all of Israel. So our power is in our speech. That's why I feel like when people only say like, don't say lashon hara, don't say lashon hara, there's much more than that. It's realizing the power of our speech. That when we say things, we actually produce things. When you say bracha, now you elevated the nitzotzot, the sparkles of kedusha that were in the food. When you bless someone, you actually can give him a life. We have a power in what we say. We have a power in what we do. We're in power in what we think. And that I feel it's much more meaningful rather than just say, be careful what we're saying. Don't say this and that. We're not babies. When you realize how much power you have in your speech, then you're going to use it well. There's even a story like that. Once there was a guy who was supposed to go see his rabbi before Rosh Hashanah. And the rabbi looks at him and says, no, go back. Yeah, I don't want to see you. So the guy was totally depressed. Said, oh my gosh, my Rav don't want to see me before Rosh Hashanah. What's going to be with me? And so he meets a group of friends who were supposed to see, also goes to the Rav. And they're like, what's going on? Why are you so depressed? Like, the Rav, you want to see me? And then like, shtuyot. And they start dancing with him and singing with him and do a lechaim. And then they sat, and each one of them gave him a very heartfelt bracha. The first one said, you should have a lot of children, and shall be healthy and happy. And the second one said, and you should have bracha in your parnasa, and your business should work well. And so the third one said, you should have a long life and be healthy and happy. And then they said, okay, come, we're going to go back to the Rav. He said, no, I can't. He told me not to come. He said, no, it doesn't matter, you come with us. And they put him back, and they put him back in the room of the Rav. And he was trembling to the Rav, told him not to go, and he has a chutzpah to go back. And the Rav looks at him and says, good, you came back. What do you mean, good, I came back? A minute ago he told me not to go. Now he told me, good, I came back. He said, well, the first time he saw him, he said he saw the angel of death around him. And he said he couldn't do anything about it. So he said, better he's with his family. He said, but those friends who blessed him with all their heart, their words literally killed the Malach Amavet. And this man lived a very happy and long life. So that's the power of a Jewish word. That's the power of our words. And I feel that's much powerful than saying, like, be careful what you're saying. Don't say Lashon Hara. Realize the power you have in your words. Realize the power. You can change someone's life. You tell him a compliment. You're there for him. You listen for him. You give him a bracha. You can change his life. So I feel that's what we want to know now. The power of our speech, the power of our tefillah. Now what's interesting is that you can take a word and write it, for example, in Milui. For example, here, Aleph, suddenly we write in Milui. And we can do that with words. And have a gematria. And this gematria, we're going to look in the Torah what pasuk has the same gematria than this word. And then we're going to understand the secret of the word. So, for example, we'll take the word Mashiach. Okay, so it's supposed to be in Hebrew, but the computer didn't use it well, whatever. So we'll take the word Mashiach and we'll write it in third Milui. Okay? The value is 1967. And we'll look in the Torah what pasuk has the same gematria that 1967. And the pasuk says, "Veyadata hayom," and you'll know this day, ki Hashem Elokecha, ki Hashem is your God, hu ha'over lefanecha, he is going before you, esh ochla, a fire, a devouring fire, hu yashmidem, he's going to destroy all of our enemies, hu yachniem, he's going to destroy all of them, lefanecha, in front of you, ve'orashtem ve'avatem, and they're going to get lost, maher kasher diber Hashem lach, like Hashem promised you. Now this pasuk is very interesting because there are a lot of different elements who are supposed to happen when Mashiach comes, and that's what he explains here. V'yadata hayom. First of all, yedi'ah, knowledge in the Torah, always speaks about love. When Adam yada et Chava, Adam had a relationship with Chava. So v'yadata hayom, it's basically first the day where all the Jewish people discover the beauty of Hashem's love for us, where all the Jewish people is going to love Hashem back. It's basically when we said that all the Jewish people is going to do tshuva, that's what it is. V'yadata hayom, and everyone is going to discover how much they love Hashem, and they're going to discover the beauty of Hashem's love for us. Now also, v'yadata hayom ki Hashem Elokecha, everyone is going to know that Hashem is our God. And more than that, so then when Mashiach will come, we'll see the divinity everywhere. We'll see the table, it's not just a table, it's God. We'll see the floor is going to scream. You know, I remember you were on me, you said the Dvar Torah. We'll see how everything is divinity, that's v'yadata hayom. And you'll see, and you'll understand how it's all Hashem's hand. Also, it's written that when Mashiach will come, katuv, az yimaleh sechok pinu. What is sechok pinu? That our mouth is going to be filled with real joy. Why? Because we see the movie of history from the beginning to the end, and we'll understand how it's all Hashem's hand. Everything, from the hardest thing to the better things, it was all Hashem's hand to bring us the Geula. So we'll be filled with that because we said, oh, is that really what happened? And that's why it happened? Is that how it happened? That it's going to fill us with joy. You know what? Like when you understand, when you understand something, that's what's going to happen. We're going to understand all the secret and all the mystery of history. That's v'yadata hayom. We'll understand everything, and we'll know everything, and we'll see how everything is divinity. And hu yashmidem, and he's going to destroy all of our enemy, and he's going to bring real justice. So that's the pasuk for Mashiach. Now, so I'll make it short because I see Hindi looks very tired.
Oh,
You're so tired.
Don't mind me. I'm all always.
No, I'm gonna try to make it shorter.
3:00 in the afternoon is my bedtime.
And then you can also take another name. For example, Eliyahu Hanavi.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know where is Eliyahu Hanavi written in the Torah? When you take Eliyahu Hanavi and you write it in second Milui, the Gematria is 3,498. Good, Fegi, I was waiting for you. I see you like this. What pasuk has the same Gematria than 3,998? It's the pasuk, Nachon, when do we see angels in the Torah? When Yaakov sends Malachim. So what pasuk is the same Gematria in Shte Miluim of Eliyahu Hanavi? Vayashuvu HaMalachim El Yaakov. Meaning, what do we understand? What angels did Yaakov send to Esav? Eliyahu Hanavi.
Oh.
Very cool. And now what's beautiful is that when the Zohar explains this pasuk, what does he tell you? That the angels that Yaakov sent was Eliyahu Hanavi. This name is the name of the angel that we don't pronounce, but it's the name of Eliyahu Hanavi.
Oh, wow.
So even the Zohar knew about those techniques and could tell you this angel that Yaakov sent was Eliyahu Hanavi. That's why the name of Eliyahu Hanavi has the same gematria as this pasuk Vayeshuvu HaMalachim. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Now, okay, that I'm gonna. Do you have little more strength? Should I make it short?
Yeah.
More strength? So, I'll go back to that if I see you still have energy. Now, what's interesting, for example, you can also take name of places, name of peoples, name of events, years, and you can find them inside the Torah. For example, we'll take the name Sharm el-Sheikh. Sharm el-Sheikh was this place where all the Arabs around the world will all get together and make projects and things against Israel. So we asked the Torah, what should we think? What should we think about all these Arabs? Like Fegi said before, should we be scared? They come to try to kill us. Should we fear them? So when we take this name Sharm el-Sheikh and we put it in first Milui, and we look in the Torah, what pasuk has the same gematria than this value, 1,615? The pasuk says, "Ityatzvu reu, come and look at Yeshuat Hashem. Look how Hashem is going to bring you his Yeshua. Asher yaseh lachem, he's going to do for you this Yeshua. Ki asher item et Mitzrayim." You know that Hashem already took you out of Egypt. So what do you have to do now? Hashem ilachem lachem. Ve'atem tacharishun. God is gonna fight for you. God is fighting all the wars for you. Ve'atem tacharishun. You just trust. You just tacharishun. Be quiet. Don't start doing like peace treaties. Don't start talking with them. Just be quiet. Trust, and Hashem is gonna do all the wars for you. So that's beautiful. To say we should never fear any of our enemies. Even when they speak and try to kill us, Hashem ilachem lachem. Hashem does our fights, Hashem does our wars, and you trust, and you don't make peace treaties with them. So Sharm el-Sheikh has the same gematria as this pasuk, Hashem ilachem lachem, ve'atem tacharishun. This is beautiful. Hashem tells you, I protect you, I watch over you, I'm always there for you, have no fear. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm. It's very complicated.
It's complicated, that's why I'm asking, is it clear?
Yeah,
You understood? Is that
clear,
okay?
but it's
Does it have a
complicated.
connection with the psukim that you say that start and end with the with the letters of your name?
So that, what it is, why do we say that? That's a beautiful question. So you understand that when you look again at the idea of the Milui. Okay, so meaning each letter you can write in Milui.
Right.
So it's written that when you get to Shamayim, they ask you what's your name.
Right.
Why did they ask you what's your name? Why? Because when you do a mitzvah, so the letters of the mitzvah, let's say you do Netilat Yadayim, so those letters are going to come in Milui. They're going to attach themselves to your name. And that's why when they ask you what your name is, when you say your name, all those letters, they come up to Shamayim, and all the mitzvot you have done, they come and they present themselves. Here is the life of this person. Here are the mitzvot he's done. But why dafka this pasuk that starts and ends with your name? Why? Because that shows what your root is, what your essence is. What your essence is, it's your pasuk, it's your Torah. You're written the Torah, and that's who you really are. That's why you say this pasuk, to remember who you really are and what your essence is. So that's those two reasons. One, because all your actions are going to come and connect themselves to your name.
Right.
And that's why each letter is a connection between you and Hashem. Each letter is a canal of vitality, of chayut, between you and Hashem. That's why it's so important, the name. So each person has a specific name. And that's why it's not good to contract name or to change name or to make a name shorter. Because the name of our essence. And our name is our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Our name is our personality. Our name is our strength. And each letter is actually a canal for bracha between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that's why it's written in the Tanya. Le'olam Hashem dvarecha nitzav b'shamayim. That forever Hashem, your name is written in the sky. Why? Because those letters that Hashem used to create the world, to create, for example, the sky, Yehi Rakia, He didn't just say them and they disappeared. They are still there, in the sky. And they bring the vitality to the sky each second. That's why they're named. Same for our name. Our name, each second, bring us vitality from HaKadosh Baruch Hu straight. So that's the importance of letters. So that was a very beautiful question. So that was Sharm el Sheikh. So now, okay, let's, okay.
Are you familiar with the website Kila Shema Melucha?
No? What is this?
Whatever, they're into everything about Mashiach, but they're very big in Gematriot and like Nidui and stuff like this.
Ah, okay.
I noticed you said Gogama, and two of their groups that's all about Gematria.
Ah, very nice. I'm going to look into it.
It's called Sod 820.
Okay.
.co.io.
Okay. That if you like, send it to me. So now we said we can take names and look what are written in the Torah. Now we can also take years. We take a year. A year is also a value. And we look in the Torah, what pasuk has the same gematria than this year. And the pasuk literally tells you what's happening in this year. So we'll start with year 1936. In Hebrew it's 5696. And we look what pasuk has the same gematria than this year. And the pasuk says, "V'chara api bo bayom ha'u." HaKadosh Baruch Hu was angry. "Ve'azaftim," and he leaves
Left
them.
him, yeah.
"Ve'histarti panai," and the pasuk HaKadosh says, "Va'anochi haster astir panai bayom ha'u." HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides his face. So here he says, it's a bad siman for Am Yisrael. And the pasuk, the year afterwards, 1937, 5697, the pasuk says, "Kumu, get up. Se'u ivru et Yarden, et Nachal Arnon." Get up and leave. Leave. The pasuk literally says, leave. Don't stay where you are. Something bad is going to happen. "ונתתי בידך את סיחון מלך חשבון והאמורי ואת ארצו החל רש והתגבר בו המלחמה." And he says, Israel will always be there for you, but you gotta go. You gotta leave. And in 1938, that was already the beginning, when there was a crystal night.
Pesach, yeah.
So something interesting is that the night of declaration of the state of Israel was in 5708. Now every time we daven and say "V'achazirenu b'tshuva shelema lefanecha," we ask Hashem to lachzir otanu b'tshuva. And there is another signification we can look also in tshuva, that hey, when you write the date, hey generally is for 5,000, right? Tav is 400, Shin is 300, Vav is 6, and Bet is 2. So you see here we wrote Teshuva, right? Here are the letters for Teshuva. And what value do we have here? 5,708. That's exactly the year of the declaration of the state of Israel.
Wow.
So when we're davening to Hashem, "Achzirenu b'tshuva," what are you telling Him? "Achzirenu in our land." In 5708, when it's going to be B'ezrat Hashem, all of Israel is going to go back to Israel. So that's crazy. Crazy. And we are going to arrive also to the pasuk. The pasuk that comes to 5711, that's the declaration of the state of Israel. The pasuk says, "Vayomer elai," and I will tell you, "Ineni mafrecha," because it's also the state of baby boom, right? And after the Second World War, there was baby boom, and people had lots of babies. And the pasuk says, "Ineni mafrecha," and I'm going to multiply you. You're going to have lots of babies. Ve'abaticha, and you're going to have lots and lots of babies. Ve'naticha lekalamim. Venatati et haaretz. I'm gonna give you the land. Crazy. Hashem says, I'm gonna give you the land. Lezaracha, for you and for your descendants. Acharecha achuzat olam, for the eternity. So it's crazy to see. It's not we stole the land. We should have taken the land. It didn't belong to us. We should have done that. Hashem gave us the land. And it's like what the first Rashi says in the Torah. Why would people say and come, this is not yours, you're not allowed to have that land, you should be there. Rashi says what? The Torah starts with stories so that everyone knows. And it's funny because it's as if Rashi now answers to the journalists in CNN, right? We're going to say, it's not yours and you're colonists. Rashi says, the Torah starts with stories. So we all know that the land was created by the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The land belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and when Hashem wants to give this land to someone, He gives it to someone. And when He gives it back to Am Yisrael, He gives it back to Israel, and belongs to us from now and forever. And that's what this pasuk says, and it's amazing.
So how can we find ourselves?
In the Torah.
Right.
So the same way, you can take your name,
Right.
and put it in Milui, and look what the pasuk has the same gematria than your name.
Okay.
And in Daniel, it's written, "Itbareru v'itbalnu v'tzarfu rabim." It's going to be a very hard time. Me'at usar hatamid, latet shikuz shomem shenem. And whoever is able to count, 1290, ashrei hamechake ve'yagia lamim. Be happy the person who will be able to wait and see those times. And when you count 1,335 days, from Rosh Hashanah 5005, meaning after the end of the Second World War, when you count 1,335 days, like what Daniel said, it's exactly the day of the declaration of the State of Israel. So already Daniel saw and said it's going to be a happy day, the day of the beginning of the comeback of all the Jewish people on their land. And when you write, we'll go back to that. Now, what's interesting is that when you write the year of the 6-day war, right? So the pasuk says, second, Tzav et bnei Israel, order you the Jewish people, v'amart alem, and you'll tell them, ki atem ba'im al haaretz, you are coming to Eretz Israel, zot haaretz, asher tipol lachem enachala. This land is going to fall in between your hands. And this is crazy. This is exactly what happened to this land. 6 days, and suddenly we got Hebron, we got Jerusalem, we got all this.
Yeah.
It literally fell in our hands. We had all those Arabs coming and attacking us. Suddenly, we have this victory. It suddenly comes straight from Hashem. And that's what he says. Tipol lachem enachal. It's going to fall in your hands. And all the psukim afterwards literally says all the pieces of land that we got. So it's all, and the Rebbe says that 3 men are not going to respect the integrity of Eretz Israel. The first one is going to become crazy. The second one is going to lose his life, and the third one is going to lose power. The third one who become crazy was Sharon. The second one who lost his life was Rabin, and the third one who lost the power was Olmert. So anyone who dares touching Eretz Israel, it does not end very well. And for example, when we take the verse of Yitzhak Rabin, his pasuk is "V'achalta et kol ha'amim." You're gonna win all the wars, because at first he was a general of wars.
Yeah, he was a military person.
Exactly. So you're gonna win all the wars. Asher Hashem Elokecha noten lach. Hashem has given victory into his hands. Aval lo tachos anecha aleim. Do not have mercy on them. It's crazy. Meaning the pasuk says that that's his weakness, to have mercy on the enemies. Lo tachos anecha aleim, lo ta'avod et Eloheim. Do not serve their God. Ki mokesh hulach. This is your mistake. This is where you're gonna fall. So that's the pasuk for Yitzhak Rabin. And so that's already almost the end. Yeah, we can finish on that. And so that's the pasuk for 1995, when there was the peace treaties of Oslo. The pasuk says, "Lo tichrot laem velelohem berit." Do not sign. Lo tichrot. Do not sign with them or with their gods any treaty. I'm crazy, right? So that shows you, first of all, as we said, that the Torah is not just like a book, of stories. It's our life who's there. It's the instruction of the whole history, the whole world. And we are part of this making of the history while being here and doing Torah and Mitzvot and continuing the creation of the world through our action, through our Torah, and through our mitzvot. And what's beautiful that we know now is our life is also written in the Torah. And when Mashiach will come, he's going to say proudly, here are my children. Hear what they've done through their life. And this is also part of the beautiful story of all of Am Yisrael, of the Avot, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and through our life, and in your zchut, בזכות נשים צדקניות, יבוא הגאולה, נגאלנו, ובזכות נשים צדקניות הולכים להיגאל, בזכות נשים like you, who make שיעורי תורה, who come to שיעורי תורה, and learn and raise their children in the way of Torah, in the way of שליחות, בזכות you, Mashiach is going to come, Mashiach now. Thank you for listening.
Amen.
And לחיים לחיים.
Good. Very interesting.
Thank
I
you.
worked out the gematria of my name.
So you can calculate, sorry, turn that off.